Hello, my name is Stevie Martin with the Avaya Serviceability Engineering Team. This video will introduce the WAWebService and show how to access and use it for Avayalive Engage on-premise software. When customers install the on-premise software version of Avayalive Engage, one of the items installed is the ASP.NET application WAWebService. It has no visible representation on the client and is only visible from the desktop in IIS Manager. It is used by many applications in the system, such as the admin panel. It's used by the configure conscription tool when you first install Avayalive Engage. You also use it to install certificates if you're going to be using SSL. Customers using the OPS version can access the WAWebService tools via an internal web page. And from there you have a host of administration functions we use of applications. To gain access to WAWebService tools, you must have administrative access to the desktop where the Avayalive Engage on-premise software has been installed. Once you've accessed the desktop, you bring up your browser and type in localhost port 8080 WAWebService WAInterface.asmx. This will bring up the web page with all the tools that are available through the web service. The WAWebService page uses what is called Web Services Description Language, WSDL, which you'll sometimes hear referred to as WSDL, to define the tools used on the page. WSDL is a document written in XML, and this document describes a web service. It specifies the location of the service and the operations or methods that the service exposes. If you want to see the details of the WSDL document, just click on Service Description. The on-premise solution installation guide identifies some of the tools available through WAWebService and how to use them. For this example, we will pick one called Using Web Root Redirects. In this example here, as in most initial installations, the default URL includes the subscription ID, which may not be an ideal URL to distribute to the end users of the environment. It might be more convenient to consider the entire web server to be the web.live application. If you want to do that, you can use Setup Web Root Redirects as outlined in the installation guide. This is done using the local web browser and the WAWeb server as we have identified earlier. When you log into the WAWebService tool page from the desktop, you would scroll down to WA Setup Web Root Redirects and select it. In here you'd enter the description ID of the environment you're modifying, which for Release 3.0 for all on-premise software installation will be description ID 1. You set your server web fully qualified domain name to the URL that you would wish to use. Once you've done this, you would select Invoke. If the invocation is successful, you come back with an XML file saying true. There's a couple restrictions. The method should only be run once the system is up and running, after you've ran the subscription configuration. If you change your system from non-SSL to SSL, the method must be rerun. And in that example, you'll be entering HTTPS instead of HTTP for your URL. If the invocation of the WAWebService tool had returned false, you go into the logs directory under the W folder WebLive logs and look at the WAWebService log to determine what the issue was. The information will be the most recent log generated. If you test this in a web browser and it cannot find the requested service, then try and clear the cache of the web browser, close it, and re-open it again, then attempt it a second time. If this still fails to work, you should contact your Avaya support personnel for more information. Note that during this discussion for Avayalive Engage, you've seen the name web.live. For releases prior to 3.0, that was the name of the product and has been changed for the 3.0 release. As we're doing this example with a beta version of the software, you occasionally see areas where the web.live name is still there and it has not been updated. Thank you for your time today. We welcome comments, questions, and feedback at mentor@avaya.com or on Twitter at AvayaMentor. For more details or related information, please visit support.avaya.com. Thank you for choosing Avaya.